Welcome back, Truth Seeker. March 2nd, 2023. A big headline today. Jerry Richardson, former NFL player and owner, the man who founded the Carolina Panthers, dead at age 86. And he did not die today, but the news breaks today on 3-2. Big number in the NFL, the league with 32 teams that calls itself America's game. But recall last year, prior to the NFL season beginning, Len Dawson, who was drafted in 57, died. And, of course, the Chiefs, who he played for, went on to win Super Bowl 57. And we were just talking about the Super Bowl 58 logo, how there's a lot of purple in it, and how there's two purple teams in the NFL. There's the Vikings, there's also the Ravens. And the Ravens are in Baltimore, which used to be the Baltimore Colts, and that was the team that Jerry Richardson played for, the Baltimore Colts. And his last season with the Baltimore Colts was the 1960 season, emphasis on 60 because he's now dead on the 60th day of the year. And again, he was drafted in 58. Next year's Super Bowl will be Super Bowl 58, which is a big number in Baltimore. Notice in Gematria, Jerry Richardson equals 86, dead at 86. Las Vegas, where Super Bowl 58 will be, also equals 86. And in light of it being Super Bowl 58, just like I was saying, I said my early hunch for the Super Bowl in the AFC. Again, Chiefs have a good narrative who beat a purple team in Super Bowl 4, and they're trying to win their fourth Super Bowl. If the Chiefs made it, they could become 4-2 in Super Bowls on the 42nd day of the year. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll work out that way. The other team that would make sense in the AFC is the purple team, Baltimore, that equals 58. And now you got Jerry Richardson, drafted by Baltimore in 58, dead. And from his last birthday, July 18th, to his death, March 1st, was his 227th day of his age. Interesting number. That's the 49th prime number. If you're new here, just so you don't get confused, I want you to see how Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, works. Notice Las Vegas, like we just said, equals 86. That's when you use the alphabetic order. When you use numerology, Las Vegas equals 23. The news breaks on the second day of the third month, 2-3. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Z is 1 back to A is 26, Las Vegas is 130, and when you run it in reverse with numerology, it's 49. So he's dead on his 227th day of his age, which is the 49th prime number. Notice in that same cipher, Super Bowl's 49, so is America, so is the word Scottish. American football is credited to a Scottish Rite Freemason. Here in the 103rd NFL season, the Chiefs became 3-2 in Super Bowls, and where Scottish is 32, so is America, so is Kansas City, so is Chiefs. Again, Mahomes came in 10-3 in the 103rd NFL season in the playoffs. Mr. State Farm, where State Farm is 103. Anyhow, just a little refresher for people who are new here. But also, 49, Las Vegas. Again, we're the Super Bowl 49. One more time, Super Bowl 49, America 49, NFL 49 in reverse, 32 forwards, like how they save the news for 3-2. And again, the Super Bowl is in 49 weeks and days, the upcoming Super Bowl. 49 weeks and days from the death. And that is the logo for next year. Purple and a reddish. That's why when I looked at this, I was like, it reminds me of the Vikings losing to the Chiefs in Super Bowl 4 in light of the Chiefs having a chance at winning their fourth Super Bowl. Or the other purple team is the Ravens, where Baltimore is 58. So here we are, a couple weeks after talking about that. And Super Bowl 58 will be in Allegiant Stadium, which equals 60, going with him dying on the 60th day of the year. And again, his last year with Baltimore, 1960. Here's his stats as a player. Played at Wofford. He was a Wofford Terrier. Drafted by the Baltimore Colts in the 13th round, 154th overall. I have to see what Wofford does next year. I highly doubt they're winning the college football championship, but maybe they have a good year next year. Next year is the 154th college football season. So anyhow, he only played 2 years. Drafted in 58, played with Baltimore in 59 and 60. Never started a game. Played 22 games total for his career. Had 4 receiving touchdowns. Not a long NFL career, but a long time involved. Well, as a player, I should say, but a long time in the NFL, including as an owner. And again, just day after day, news by the numbers. For the record, Wofford College is 61 in light of them breaking the news the day after on the 61st day of the year. And since we're talking about the Super Bowl being in Nevada, you just had a death of a UNLV player on February 20th, the 51st day of the year, Ryan Keeler. Ryan Keeler keeled over. 51, he got deadly sick on the 44th day of the year, which we call the kill number. War number 47 for UNLV. Nevada equals 47, as does Maryland, where Baltimore is. Nevada 47. Actually, Nevada's 47 and 34, just like Maryland. So, another reason to think maybe Baltimore's got a shot. Purple logo, first big clue for upcoming Super Bowl 58, a man drafted by Baltimore. And again, you just got to keep track of the clues. The one reason I would say this clue is not as strong as the Len Dawson thing. When Len Dawson died, he died exactly 172 days before the Super Bowl. Huge number at the Chiefs. The city of Kansas City was 172 years old at the time of the Super Bowl. Getting star tight end Travis Kelce, Mr. 172, going up against his brother in the city of brotherly love. But here, let's check one more thing while we're at it. Baltimore Establishment Day. Let's see how old Baltimore is. 1729. So 271 years would get us to 2000. So it's going to turn 294 years old at some point this year. July 30th. July 30th. Baltimore's foundation date. And that is the 211th day of the year, the 47th prime. Interesting. The day leaving 154 days left in the year. Kind of like I used the 154th pick. Let's just see how that lines up. July 30th. So from the last birthday to the death, 214 days. Funny, the Super Bowl was just on Lincoln's 214th birthday. And it was in Arizona, which is the Valentine's date, having a 214 birthday. Okay, that's interesting. And that means it's 151 days to the upcoming birthday from his death, the 36th prime. And that means from the city's birthday to the Super Bowl, which is on February 11th, 2024, is 196 days, which has a square root of 14, NFL 14. And let's also take a look real quick. The Ravens, that used to be the Cleveland Browns, next year will be their 28th season. Next year will be their 28th season. The Super Bowl is exactly 28 weeks after the city's birthday. Think about if that number's more important in other ways. But yeah, if the Ravens are a Super Bowl team, I got to think that they're going to retain Lamar Jackson because he's going to have to come back with a whole new attitude next year. I see one other thing that's interesting about the Ravens next year. We were talking about how Maryland equals 47 and 34 like Nevada. If the Ravens were to win the Super Bowl, they would likely play 4 games in the playoffs. They'd have 20 wins in the playoffs. So we'll keep that in mind. First big clues in for Super Bowl 58. Doesn't mean the Ravens are a lock, but again, it's all about weighing the scales, and that is one drop in the bucket for a Baltimore narrative. Goes with the purple, goes with the right number, and now you got the guy drafted in 58 by Baltimore dead at a fitting age in light of where the Super Bowl is. And that's what they do year after year, you guys. That's why year after year we're able to, nail it so often before any of it happens. All right, let me put my eyes on the chat, see if anybody else has an observation. Ravens are plus 2,500, so that means you could bet $10 and win $250. $10 and pay $250. What's the latest Lamar Jackson news? Lamar Jackson wants the full deal. He sat out the playoffs this year. See what happens. Keep an eye on Lamar Jackson and what they do with old Lamar. Super Bowl next year will be 35 days after his birthday. In Septenary and Chaldean Gematria, Super Bowl and football equal 35. Always a big number at the Super Bowl. It's why we liked Mahomes. It was lock city for the Mahomes prop bet, which was a nice payout in the Super Bowl. I was 1,000,000% certain Mahomes was going to throw 3 passing touchdowns to get to 35 for his career. So there is a nice little alignment next year with Lamar Jackson and the Super Bowl being 35 days later. And let's just take a look at a few other things here. Lamar Jackson Jr. The coach's birthday, Harbaugh, is September 23rd. Go see, remind myself how many years old he's going to be. I know that's his birthday, though. Super Bowl is 141 days after his birthday, 20 weeks and 1 day, 142nd day of his age. Let's see. John Harbaugh. Remember, John, 47, won Super Bowl 47 in the Battle of the Harbaugh brothers. Jim equals 32, John 47, John takes it. He'll turn 61 years old this season. He'll be 61. That's fitting because John equals 61 when you run it in reverse. Could get his team to 20 playoff wins if they took it all. They'll go into the playoffs with 16 wins. All right, but again, pay attention. There'll be many more clues between now and then. So the only thing missing for this one is a perfect alignment with the Super Bowl date. It does not have that, and that is kind of a piece that you want. It's just like how Buffalo had the huge ritual before the season that was perfectly synced with the opener of the season, but not with the Super Bowl. And we said Buffalo season was going to be all about 14. They won exactly 14 games before it all ended. But then they did have Buffalo as part of the Super Bowl, right? They had DeMar Hamlin there, Hamlin 57. So let me check one more thing here before we wrap this up. 2023 NFL season. Yes, it will be the 104th season. It begins on September 7th this year. I just want to see how his death lines up. So the season begins 16 days before John's 61st birthday. That's interesting. But from the death of Richardson, 190 days or a span of 191, which is the 43rd prime. Have they put out the schedule? I don't think they've put out the schedule yet for the upcoming season. I don't think that's been released yet. Or did they? Baltimore plays in the AFC North. That's last year's schedule. Yeah, I don't think they've put out this year's upcoming schedule yet. Say what day it starts, but... Or hold on. Yeah, okay, so... They did put out the opponents, but not the schedule yet. The Ravens, of course, they play the teams in their division. Outside of their division, they play the Texans, the Colts. They do play Baltimore, the old Baltimore team. Now they're Indianapolis. Seahawks, Rams, Dolphins, Lions, and also the Titans, the Jaguars, the Chargers, the Cardinals, the 49ers. So they got the NFC West, AFC South, NFC North, Hold on. Caller?
Hey, Zach, this is 916. With the coaching records, you know how that 267 pops up with Philly?
Uh-huh.
Look at the Lakers, or not the Clippers and the Mavs. Both of their coaches, they got that 54 TNT number. So basically, whoever wins the first is going to tell you who's going to win the second.
Okay.
Got that 54 connection with Tyronn Lue and Jay Kidd, and then you got the 267.
Okay.
With the Philly and,
yeah, you got 267 and both TNT Philly teams tonight. Yeah, it's all in there.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm not doing that right, though. I'm talking about the NFL season right now on a live stream. You're calling into a live stream about the NFL.
All right, for sure, man.
All right, later.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to pay attention when the schedule comes out and see how they got it lined up. But it is interesting that they do play the 49ers this year. Last time they were in a Super Bowl, that's who it was against. 11 years earlier, right? Big number in football. Football 11 on 11. So, anyway, R.I.P. to Jerry Richardson. Another one gone by the numbers. I guess one other thing about that date on 2/11, 2/11 is the 47th prime, which again fits in with the Maryland thing and the Nevada thing. 42nd day of the year. And then on the Chiefs side of the equation, it can also be written 1-1-2, like Chiefs 112, trying to get to 4-2 in Super Bowls on the 42nd day. Okay. I did see that, Amy. Yeah, Amy makes a good point about how his name, Jerome Richardson Sr., does equal 212. I saw that. Yeah. Indeed it does. Here, this guy's got to call in because he's the biggest Carolina Panthers fan in the world outside of Travis. What's up? What's up, Joey?
Yo, I didn't know you knew. Joey.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, the Panthers. I'm seeing the news of Jerry Richardson, and there's a lot to say. The Panthers were the 29th franchise in the NFL. When the Panthers were awarded, when the Carolinas were awarded an NFL team, they were the 29th NFL franchise. And the thing about that is this upcoming season is going to be the 29th season for the Panthers. So
right.
They're the 29th NFL franchise, and this is going to be their 29th NFL season. But the Panthers' first win ever in franchise history was on the 29th birthday of the Black Panther Party.
Perfect.
Their first win on the 29th birthday. And obviously football equals 29.
Just like black.
And like black. And the Super Bowl can be tied 29-29 this year if the AFC is to win.
Right. You know who's got a black bird on their helmet?
What'd you say?
The Ravens got a black bird on their helmet.
And the Ravens are talking about moving Lamar Jackson because you know how late, like the past 2 years, I've been calling in and saying, "Oh, it's going to be the Panthers," and like I talked about Cam Newton.
Can't get tied at 29-29 if the Panthers win. AFC's got to win tied at 29-29.
Exactly. I don't think the Panthers are going to win. I'm I really like that 29-29. But here's the thing. The Super Bowl is in – because Super Bowl 50 was all about 58. Number 58 won MVP. It was all about Huey P. Newton, which equals 58. And Cam Newton was the 58th different quarterback to start in the Super Bowl. But here's the thing about that. Cam Newton's birthday is 11/5, and Cam Newton in the most pure cipher equals 36. Well, the coordinates of Las Vegas, and Las Vegas, keep in mind, is Nevada's the 36th state in order of statehood. And it's funny because Derek Carr was the 36th overall pick in the draft, and now he's getting moved from the Raiders.
You know what? As you're just saying this, I just realized, I just thought about one more thing. The next quarterback to start in the Super Bowl will be the 66th because Hurts became the 65th, the Philadelphia number. Baltimore Ravens is 66. So if the Ravens quarterback becomes the 60, if you have a quarterback there that's already been there before in the NFC, and it's the Ravens quarterback, 66th QB to be in a Super Bowl, starting QB.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. Because, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't think we're going to see Cam Newton any more Super Bowls. So.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in another Super Bowl, especially this 58, maybe with the Ravens, because.
Yeah, I know what you mean there. The whole Huey P. Newton and him being the 58th quarterback to start in the Super Bowl. I suppose it's possible.
There was one more thing. The coordinates, did I get to the coordinates of Las Vegas, Nevada is 115-36.
Okay.
And, Cam Newton's birthday is 11/5. But, yeah, I think Lamar Jackson isn't going to be on the Ravens next year. I think it could be Cam Newton on the Ravens. And because Cam Newton's next, here's why I know Cam Newton's not done. Because his next career touchdown is going to be 271. And 271 is the 58th prime. So his next touchdown in his career is going to be, like I just said, 271.
He might not get it, though, because we documented that with so many players where it's like they come up one short of the number you think they would get. It's like it's some kind of symbolic thing. So he could come back. I mean, it's possible. But.
That's true. Is Baltimore's 58 too, isn't it?
Right. That's why I said if it's not the Chiefs in the AFC, the other team that makes sense, Baltimore. And Jerry Richardson was drafted by Baltimore in 58.
Oh, that's right. The Baltimore Colts. Exactly. And the Panthers coach, now he came from Indianapolis. And Cam has this connection to Peyton Manning before that goes past the Super Bowl because Cam is the one who broke Peyton Manning's rookie passing yards record. Andrew Luck ended up beating Cam Newton's record, but Cam was the one who beat Peyton Manning's record. And so, yeah, that's a good connection, too, with the Colts in Indianapolis, the Colts in Baltimore, regarding Jerry Richardson. But, all right, Zach, yeah, it's definitely the clues are starting, so.
Indeed.
Sure, man.
Indeed. All right, man, appreciate it.
All right, man, peace.
Okay. Itachi was trying to call in, too. See what Itachi's got. You gotta love how they posted 3:02 on 3/2 about the NFL with its 32 teams.
What's up, Zach?
Yeah, you were trying to call in.
Yeah, sorry, are you doing the live stream right now?
Yeah, I'm talking about Jerry Richardson.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know you were live. It was something about the game. I'll just text you it, I guess.
Okay. All right.
All right. Sorry about
All right.
that.
Later, Touchy. Okay. Yeah, well, that's what I see for now. And, again, it's a long time till the Super Bowl, but year after year, the same type of stuff going on. And I don't know. Somehow, some way, people just think it's a coincidence. Maybe Fat Joe can upload another video about all these crazy people online with the number coincidences. I can't wait to cover his obituary. 559.
Hey, the next quarterback is actually the 67th to start in the Super Bowl.
Oh, wait. Because did we have two starters this year? We had Hurts and no, because we had Mahomes already been in it.
No, look, count it. Hold up, count it.
We did.
Cam Newton was number 58, right?
We already.
Then Matt Ryan, the next year was 59.
Atlanta, Georgia, 59.
Nick Foles was 60.
Hold on.
All right, Nick Foles was 60. Jared Goff was 61. Then Mahomes, Garoppolo, 62 and 63. Then Burrow and Stafford, 64 and 65. Hurts was 66.
Hold on. I thought Hurts was 65. Let me go back and do it. All right, Cam Newton, 58. Manning had already been in it. Like you said, Matt Ryan, 59. Atlanta, Georgia, 59. Foles, 60, correct. Goff, 61. Garoppolo versus Mahomes, up to 63. Two new ones. Nothing with Brady. Mahomes rematch. Yeah, you're right. Stafford. Shoot. Okay, so that was 65. You're right. So there were 65 before Hurts came in, and Hurts was number 66. Okay.
And I just want to point out, Baltimore and New York was the 1958 NFL championship. So we'll see if, I don't know if that could help.
But yeah, they call that the greatest game ever played, I think.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to chime in with that.
All right. Yeah, good thought. Thank you. All right. So, all right. Good correction. I was thinking Hurts was number 60. Maybe that's what we'd figured out. There were 65 before Hurts came in. 66 is the 11th triangular number. Black is 11. It was the 1 seed versus the 1 seed. First time you had 2 black quarterbacks on Lincoln's birthday. All right, so the next starting QB is 67. But yeah, I think that's all for now. And again, just pay attention. Pay attention to the numbers. Super Bowl 58. See if anybody else from the 1958 NFL draft kicks the bucket between now and then. See if there were any big names in that draft, actually. Jim Brown. If Jim Brown dies, you guys, that would be another thing for the Ravens, because Jim Brown played for the Browns, and the Browns that he played for became the Baltimore Ravens. So Jim Brown, 1958 draft, huh? Where is he in the draft? What? How come? Or wait. Maybe he wasn't. Okay. He was not drafted that year. He was the MVP of the league in 58, Jim Brown. But still, that's still a connection to 58, Jim Brown. I'm seeing if I recognize any of these names. Because this was way before my time. But yeah, it's the pattern to watch. People connected to 1958. Let's take a look at Jim Brown real quick. He's 87 years old. He's got the same birthday as Jordan, the 48th day of the year. He's going to turn 88. He's 87, so he's in his 88th year of life. That's interesting because it's another number that goes with Maryland. He turns 88 a couple days after the Super Bowl. All right. Yeah, but that's all for now, Truth Seeker. We'll leave it there. And again, you want to join us tomorrow on Patreon? We're going to have our first investment live stream. We're going to start doing it every Monday and Friday. And if you sign up for that tier, it also gets you all the sports content as well. So 4+ streams a week on the Patreon. And thank you in advance to everyone who supports. Bob Barker says the season begins 163 days before Jim Brown's birthday. That's fateful. 163 is the 38th prime. We know what 38 is. It's also a number that goes with the Ravens and the Browns, if I'm not mistaken. What's up, 607?
Yo, also today is 2/3. Las Vegas is 23.
I covered that in the video.
All right, I must have missed that. Did you cover that it's 227 days after his birthday?
I covered that as well.
All right, and Super Bowl's 49 and 227 is the 49th.
And Las Vegas is 49, and America and NFL and the Super Bowl's in 49 weeks. It was all covered. So.
All right, yep. I just wanted to make sure, man.
All right.
Peace.
All right, later. Okay. By the way, you guys might have noticed, did you guys see that SpaceX launched today at 12:34 a.m., like counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, and they waited until the opening minutes of March 22nd? Or not 22nd, but March 2nd can be written 2/3. And the flight got canceled on March 1st, which can be written 3/1. Then they launched on 2/3. Again, you guys, you learn the code, you just see through all of it. The deaths, the rig sports, the rig news. Anyway. That's all for now. And Amy says, did you see Mahomes' jersey sold? I'm guessing she covered that on her website. Oh, another Baltimore Colt is dead, huh? Fred Miller. Dead at 82. That's game equals 82. That's the 83rd year of their existence, or 83rd year of his life. Ravens is 83, like football, like murder. 732.
Oh yeah, just type in Jim Brown into the calculator.
Why? Just tell me what it equals.
Well, 104, 41.
104th NFL season. I see.
112 like 211 and 41 like Baltimore.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, this could be the year he goes down. So.
And you know how they did that Pittsburgh Steelers player, the 72 thing?
Yeah, they could do. That's exactly. Remember how many 103 NFL player deaths there were? It was the Packers player on the 103rd day of the season. Then it was Franco Harris 103 days after the season began, and then it was Ronnie Hillman in the next 103 ritual. So yeah, Jim Brown. Here, let's just do a hypothetical right here. Let's take a look at 104 days after the season begins.
Yeah, his birthday is 359 days before the Super Bowl, the 72nd prime number. And I was just, didn't they do the Steelers guy with the 72 thing also?
Yeah, Franco Harris and Ronnie Hillman were the 72 combo. So December 19th, well, there's not going to be a game this year on the day. He could still die 104 days after the season began, but this year there's no games 104 days after the season begins. So.
All right, and then just the one caller mentioned the number 115 with Las Vegas, and the season begins on the day leaving 115 days left in the year.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I just was looking at Edgar Allan Poe's birthday also. Didn't really see much to it, but it's October 7th for anybody who wants to look into it.
Okay. The only way that I see that they could do a 104 with the Browns, I mean, it could happen just 104 days after the season began, but if it was going to be on a day of a football game, if the Chiefs end up opening the season against the Browns, which will be Monday. No, never mind. If somehow the Browns end up playing on Monday Night Football, which is September 11th, 104 days after their first game would be Sunday, December 24th. But the schedule's not out yet, so anyway.
All right, how about this? How about 10/4/2023? It's got 57 numerology, the day leaving 88 days left in the year.
I see.
And it's 229 days. That's the 50th prime. I thought that was the 49th prime to go with Jim Brown in football.
Let's see, October 4th. Well, October 4th is also a Wednesday. 104 days after the season begins a Wednesday. October 4th is also a Wednesday, so it's not going to fall on a football day. But, yeah, I won't be surprised if he does go in the 104th NFL season. Okay.
Oh, how about is there a Monday Night Football game September 18th? Because that's the day leaving 104 days left in the year.
That'd be Monday Night Football, September 18th. That's a thought.
Yeah. Well, all right, I'll let you go, man. Thanks.
All right, later. Yeah, we don't have a schedule yet, but sadly, that's probably... I mean, Jim Brown's one of the biggest names in NFL history, and September 18th is 11 days after the season begins. Black number. Let me see how many days it is before the Super Bowl. September 18th to... It's 146 days to the Super Bowl. But yeah, if you guys missed all the 103 connected NFL deaths in the 103rd NFL season, it's the reason to think that Jim Brown might want to hire a few extra bodyguards this year. That's the thing, though, man. It's like, even if you have bodyguards, Jim Brown can't afford to pay him as much as the Illuminati can pay him to slip something in his drink. So... Oh, Amy says it was actually a Joe Montana jersey for $1.212 million. It makes sense that it would sell. The Super Bowl was 246 days after Joe Montana's birthday, and while the country is 246 years old. And again, he's Jesuit, or not Jesuit educated. He's Catholic educated. He went to Notre Dame, old 246. But hold on. Amy saw another Baltimore death. Fred Miller. I got to check this out real quick. Fred Miller. Born on 8/8. Dead on the 57th day of the year. He was the 201st pick of the draft. Go figure. He died 86 days after his birthday. Again, the Super Bowl this year is in Las Vegas, 86 land. He's also with Baltimore. Now, Jerry Richardson's dead at 86, whose name equals 86. I'm detecting a pattern. And again, the thing about the 201st overall pick, we know what that is. Huge Jesuit number. And Baltimore went to the 201 city, Indianapolis, the old Colts franchise. Indianapolis 201. Yeah. Good catch there, Amy. Fred David Miller. Let me take a peek at that. Fred David Miller. 263, 56 prime, 142. I think I was just seeing that with Harbaugh. Super Bowl's on his 142nd day of his age. Fred Miller, 57, dead on the 57th day of the year. Did you skip that? I didn't see that in your post. Fred Miller, 57, dead on the 57th day of the year, right after Super Bowl 57. And then the other thing that stands out about Fred Miller is notice in reverse, 60. Then who's dead next? Then Jerry Richardson, who's also played for the same team, whose last year was in 1960s, dead on the 60th day of the year. One death is connected to the next. Let me see what years he was in the league. '63 to '72. Is that how we put his name in a second ago? Frederick David Miller? I don't think we had that Frederick. Frederick David Miller, 107, 28th prime. It's going to be the Baltimore Ravens' 28th season. Frederick Miller, 95 like Baltimore. 148, also like Baltimore. I forget where it is on this website. There's somewhere on here where it keeps a list of all the players who die, like in chronological order for connected to the NFL. NFL related deaths, Pro Football Reference. Let's see. Yeah. So they haven't started doing it for 2023 yet, but here it is for 2022. But yeah, if you just ever want to keep track of all the deaths, it doesn't let you sort by the date, though. It's too bad it doesn't let you sort by the date. But yeah, I mean, here's remember this guy, Pete Liskey, the first Eagles quarterback to ever start against the Chiefs in the first meeting of the teams, died exactly 1 year to the day of the Super Bowl, Eagles and Chiefs. You think that was an accident? Ooh, man. So yeah, this is a good thing to pay attention to right here. Let's make sure they didn't kill any former football players on February 11th this year, a year to the day of the Super Bowl. Let me scroll back. Don't get dizzy. I'm scrolling back to February 11th. American football player Kevin Bell for the New York Jets, dead at 67. So there was a dead NFL player a year to the day of the Super Bowl. That was also the day. Oh, that was the day before the Super Bowl in Kansas City, 67. To look into if there's any history with Kansas City and the Jets. But Kansas City, 67. Austin Majors, a 27-year-old actor. Perhaps we did cover that. Ken Bell from Beaumont, Texas. Patrick Mahomes played down in Texas. He died in Houston, Texas. Houston now has the Texans. There used to be a Dallas Texans that became the Kansas City Chiefs. He went to Lamar College. What do you guys think about that? He went to Lamar College. Dead a year to the day of Super Bowl 58, where Lamar Jackson could be in it. That's interesting. That is interesting. Okay. Well, that is interesting right there. Lamar University has a bird for a logo. In Beaumont, Texas. Look at the address of it, man. 4400 ML King Jr. Parkway. Come on, man. MLK on 44. Kevin Bell. Don't forget that one, you guys. Kevin Bell, 38 like Ravens. Wild. Well, add another drop in the bucket for Baltimore next year. All right, you guys. Just remember, if this stream helps you out in the future, leave a tip. So we'll leave it there for now, you guys. I got to get back to work. I got behind on my errands today, and then I'm even further behind now because Jerry Richardson died. But yeah, that's true too, Playboy X. That is true. The Lamar Hunt Trophy. Lamar Hunt, the Hunt family, the Chiefs. So his death definitely had a lot to do with Kansas City's win the next day. But if Lamar Jackson stays on the Ravens, keep that one in mind. And if Lamar Jackson, remember what I said? Remember I said earlier, I said, imagine Lamar Jackson ends up on the Minnesota Vikings. I was talking about that the other week when I was talking about those colors in the Super Bowl 58 logo. I was like, it'd be something like Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson if he was on the Vikings. So... thank you, Lopier Goat. I appreciate that. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna come out with the first stream's gonna be out the 10-year strategy. Again, we're planning for the long run. We're talking about how to get ahead in 10 years. For all the people out there, it's like, are we even gonna be here in 10 years at the rate the world's going? Well, those things are out of our hands. But again, we're gonna assume that we're still gonna be here in 10 years, and we're trying to get on a path to get ourselves out of the slave race as much as possible. So tomorrow, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern time. And I'll get your guys' feedback tomorrow on the time of the... if you guys want to do it at a different time, we can adjust the time, but it is planned tomorrow. First one, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Do I think Lamar stays with Baltimore? I mean, we'll see. I think if the Baltimore Ravens are going to be in the Super Bowl next year, Lamar Jackson's going to stay there. So I think if Lamar stays, the Baltimore, again, like I've been saying, that to me, they're the one. I only see 2 teams in the AFC in the Super Bowl right now. I can't see anybody besides Kansas City or Baltimore. A lot could happen between now and then, but from the information I have right now, one of those 2 teams in the AFC. And what I would love to see is Lamar Jackson go to the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, that's unlikely, but if that happened, I'd be like, okay, I think they've given us the Super Bowl now. So, look at NCAA men. The last 2 games tonight are the 5 seed and 8 seed. They could fall to 24-6. That's the thought. The country's 246 years old. If they're Catholic schools, that makes it all the more encouraging. So. Baltimore starting next year 4-1. They do that a lot. Baltimore loves a good 41. All right, but yeah, I'm going to add that little note in here about this guy, Fred Miller, and this guy right here, so I don't forget these things. Because, again, even in a month from now, I'll forget half the information I talked about in the stream. There's so many things to keep straight. But that's why I archive all these posts on my website. If you guys are like in a month, you're like, what was Zach saying about Jerry Richardson again? Just come back and type in Jerry Richardson. It'll pull up the post. And, yeah, that's all for now, True Seeker.